The train that I am drawing in this occasion is the S470. I am looking forward to get the chance to travel in one of them again in the future. Well, the time has come. Let's head to the train station. Hi, how's it going? Today we will be traveling on Renfe's S470 train. We start our journey at Valladolid Campo Grande, a train station that used to belong to La Compañía de los Caminos del Hierro del Norte de España before the entire rail network was nationalized under Renfe during Francisco Franco's dictatorship, later split in 2005 into Renfe Operadora, who runs the trains, and Adif, the company who hosts and maintains all the rail infrastructure including this station. Here comes our train. It is the oldest train series that keeps offering regular service. Nonetheless, it is considered by many the best train the Spanish national rail operator ever had because of its reliability and how easy it becomes to maintain. Unfortunately, these trains are easy victims of vandalism, and Renfe does not seem to show too much interest into giving them proper care. Let's get on board. And here's my seat. A cool feature about these seats is that they can be flipped to face the trip direction or to form groups of 4 facing each other, something apparently rare to see in Western passenger trains. The downside of this design is that seats cannot be reclined and there are no foldable tables and there are no footrests. Sacrifices a rotating seat system commonly seen in Japan would not have. Power sockets and Wi-Fi are not available in this train either. I was about to show the toilet, but the door is stuck. Okay, let's try the other toilet this train has. Oh, never mind. It is out of order. Well, I guess I will have to hold myself for the remaining 3 hours and a half of journey. Here's a space reserved for wheelchair. There's also space reserved for bikes and a vending machine that, unsurprisingly, does not work. Beside the overhead racks, there are some space for larger luggage. We depart on time. This is a regional express service, whose name seems like an irony, since this is the service that makes the most stops. Here you can see what I mean. Shortly after, we arrive at our first stop at Valladolid Universidad. As its name suggests, it serves this city's university, having only one operating platform since the other one was closed after that side of the track was converted for high-speed and long-distance service. After a brief stop, we continue our journey. At our right, we can see the bypass being under construction. Once finished, it will allow freight trains to go around the city, so they don't have to run across the main station. Okay, let's talk about this train. These electric-powered trains originally come from the S440 series manufactured by CAF and Macosa during the 70s to offer proper commuter service in the big urban cores, being the train series that started the operation of such routes like the Cercanías C5 line in Madrid. After their success, several units were exported to serve service in Chile and Brazil. All S440 trains in Spain were refurbished and turned into the S470 and the 440R we know today, a reform that could expand their lifespan. It has a top speed of 140 km per hour. I didn't notice at first, but the floor pattern is made out of the old Renfe logo, popularly known as Galleta, used from 1972 to 2005. In fact, I could find some stickers with this logo on top of some of the doors. Something that I noticed about this train is that it doesn't accelerate fully smoothly. You can see the small pulse on the water shakes, possibly caused by the removal of pulses on the electric motor to keep the sine wave emulation as it gains speed, which is more noticeable in older rolling stock. You can find some sources explaining this in more detail, but an analogy of these could be the gear shift of your car as you keep driving faster. At top speed, these trains are quite smooth for such an old model. The decent maintenance of the Madrid Hendaya track, in which we are currently running on, also helps. Nonetheless, I have to say the soundproof is not as effective as some newer trains. We arrive at Venta de Baños, a village built around what used to be the most important node in the northern Spain railway system for both passenger and freight trains. Right after, we enter Palencia, meeting again the high-speed line with an AVE train bound to Madrid. I found it interesting that they have a sign for the front placement of the S449 train, since they are slightly longer than other 3-car trains. From now on, we will be running on single track. As we slowly approach the northern mountain system, our speed will be reduced as more curves have to be taken. At some point of the journey, one of the passengers could desperately push the toilet door strongly enough to unstuck it. Let's take a look inside. Unfortunately, now the door doesn't fully lock. The sink doesn't seem to work, but there's soap and the dryer works perfectly. And as a really positive thing to mention, there's toilet paper. Oh, never mind. The sink works fine, I just had to step on this button. We were announced we would be making a 10 minutes technical stop at Reynosa, so I decided to get off and take a look around. We were already running around 15 minutes behind schedule. We are soon back on track. As we climb the mountains northwards, the climate changes. It is much more humid and green vegetation can be seen everywhere. We can take small glimpses to the beauty of the rural areas. Honestly speaking, this is a great legendary train with countless kilometers on its back running across the Spanish tracks. Nevertheless, much comfort is not to be expected compared to modern units. Despite that, I was really hoping to catch this train. We finally arrive at our destination with a 12 minutes delay. Hope you enjoyed this video and thanks for joining us on this marvelous trip. See you in the next one. Bye.